What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for showing up for the new video. Today I'll be listening to every album by a rapper who I know personally, and his name is Superxay. Well, it's not Superxay, it's Superxay. But you'll see it. You know what I'm talking about. Let's get it. I actually went to school with Zay and have been making music with this man for a while now. So I have seen Zay evolve over the years and become better than what he is. But over those years of working together, Zay has only dropped 2 albums. And one of those albums actually dropped this year of 2022 in July, which is like a month or 2 ago. So his catalog isn't really big enough for me to do a making the perfect album for a video, but I can at least review the 2 albums he has and give my opinion on the work that he's released so far. Zay is an 18-year-old rapper born in Lafayette, Louisiana on July 23, 2004 at 12:34 a.m., which means he just turned 18 recently. Go ahead and throw my boy a happy belated birthday and show some love. His name originally was Superxay, which was inspired by the impact that streetwear had on the culture at the time, notably by Supreme itself, which is why he put it in the name. He would later change his name to Superxay so he could be different, and it just ended up sticking with him, and now that is the name that he chooses to go by. Zay grew up being inspired by rappers like Mac Miller, Lil Wayne, Wiz Khalifa, and Eminem, but he was really put onto music by his dad, who would rap all the time and play songs by SPM and Tupac, which made Zay fall in love with music himself. Zay's first mixtape was actually released on December 18th of 2016 when Zay was only in 7th grade. And now that we have all that stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into the 2 albums that have been released by Superxay. Album number 1 out of the 2 that we'll be doing today is going to be named Intergalactic, which dropped July 31st, 2021, and has a 7-song track list which totals at a length of 21 minutes, which is 1 minute over the requirements for an EP. I did listen to this album when it dropped, but I don't remember the last time I listened to it, so I don't remember much about it, so I'll be going into this with no real knowledge of what it was. I only have 3 songs from this album already in my liked songs, but there are only 7, so I guess that's good. We start this album with the song When I Awaken, which I'm not gonna lie, is pretty goddamn fire. It opens up with this vibe that makes you feel like you're a fucking superhero going through an epic training arc, and it's definitely a strong opener for this album. I didn't like that it was followed up with Strange Angels, which in itself is a good song and definitely goes with the vibe that he was going for this album, but if I'm being honest, it should have been more near the bottom of the album. I feel like this whole track list is kind of everywhere, if I'm being honest. These songs definitely all can be on the same album, but they're just placed wrong in my opinion. I think the lack of song selection actually made Zay's album suffer this time, because the 7 songs he picked are all placed in spots that they shouldn't be in, but it's hard to put them in other spots since there's only literally 7 songs in the actual album. The songs on the album actually aren't bad, and I do like them, but it's hard to listen to them all as one cohesive album when the difference in emotions won't let you get a real grip on the album. Like, the first song makes you feel inspired and ready to get off your ass, and instead of following up on that feeling, we're hit with songs that make you feel very different emotionally, so you can't really tell what the album is supposed to be going for, and I don't really think Zay did that on purpose. The production on this album is nice, especially since I know most of the songs weren't recorded in the best of conditions, so I'll give it a bit of a pass since you can clearly hear him and not feel like you're listening to a bunch of garbage nonsense. And yes, I'm looking at you, 2019 Demi Dangerous.
Bitch, I know you ain't talking.
The lyrics also aren't bad. His flow's pretty nice, and he's not coming with flows that are really in the mainstream scene, except for maybe something like Eminem or Logic, but those are still different from Zay in their own ways. His lyrics are more about actual events and not punchlines, so his bars are bars of realism and not bars in the sense of shit that makes you go like, wait a minute. Altogether, this album is going to get a 5 out of 10. The songs are nice, but it suffers from not being longer and definitely wasn't placed correctly when making this album, which made it hit less than it really should have been. It's not horrible, but it stops itself from actually being good, and that's why I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. And now we'll be moving on to the second album in this list. Now, the second album is titled Creation and is Zay's latest album, but it's also around 22 minutes, so it's another one of his shorter albums. I like Zay's opener again. Zay can make some hard songs that can get you in a get to a bag vibe and shit like that. I didn't like that there was a minute left of random ass beat switch in the end of the first song, but that's really just a personal thing. In the second song, Highway, Zay once again switches from the hype vibe he starts with and switches to a more slower vibe, which is cool, but randomly in the beginning of the second song, Zay just has an open feature where no one was talking, and I was like, where are the goddamn features in this album? Like, bro, it says 2 features on it and I'm hearing nobody talk. They actually end up pulling up later in the song, and let's talk about them. I don't really like Highway. The beat is a nice chill vibe, but the flow for the hook is kind of boring, and whoever had that last verse did not have a good verse for me. But again, personal issues. But you already knew that, because you're on my channel, hearing my personal opinions. Plus, the song goes on for 5 damn minutes, and a minute of that was not anybody talking, so it shouldn't have been 5 minutes, it's more like 4. This album actually suffers from the same things as the last album, but worse. The album is not only short, but the track list is once again random as fuck. Also, there's a skit in there, which comes out of nowhere and has nothing to do with the theme of the album, if there is a theme for the album, because I can't really tell what it was supposed to be. There's too many vibes going on all at once, and it just doesn't work. The songs are nice, but they shouldn't be placed like this. Zay needs an executive producer to help him place these songs, because his albums are suffering from improper placement, and the fact that they're barely enough to be considered an EP. He ended the album with Just Like Me, which is an upbeat pop song, when he just had a sad-ass slow song right before this. And if you go listen to those songs back to back, you'll understand what I mean by improper placement.
Everything's meant to be broken. I just want you to know. It might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
I'm very easily influenced by music.
I'm giving it another 5 out of 10. The song selection could be better, and the placement definitely could have been better. Like, Just Like Me could have been after the first song, and it would have made sense, but, you know, it wasn't, so it didn't. I think Zay is a good artist, and you should check him out. If you look at his songs as singles, they're actually pretty nice, and his beat selection is also great, and goes with his flows at the same time. But Zay's actual albums will probably not be the best way to show you how good of an artist he is, because they're not really... You just heard the video, nigga. That's the end of this video for now, and I wish my brother Zay the best, and you know it's all love and respect for your craft, bro, and I can't wait to see what's next. Also, y'all go check out Superxay, and also get ready for the collab album that Zay will be featuring on, which is going to be a group album, which will be featuring different artists, including myself. You already know what the fuck going on. Peace out. See you later.
Have you ever wanted to die inside? Have you ever felt alive inside? I ask myself when I'm alone, and I'm just scared to die alone. Have you ever wanted to die inside? Have you ever felt alive?